This is podcast number 2, recorded on May 20th, 2012 at approximately 10:40 p.m. The topic for this podcast is panels, a how-to. Hey, this is Megan from PRS Films, also known as Musy. How are you guys doing? I'm getting a sore throat from taking so many takes on this. And I think I'm almost out of soda. I am almost out of soda. Oh wait, I am out of soda. This sucks. How are you guys doing? I am tired. I have done how many takes on this? I told myself I'm not going to do it again, and here I am, doing it again. I'm out of breath, but I don't care. Oh, I don't care. I'm tired. It is almost... Actually, by the time this gets put up, it'll be almost midnight. And I want to talk to you guys about a serious subject. Well, not really serious. It's kind of serious, kind of not. But according to the topic above, to the title, you'll notice it's about panels. Panels are an important thing in an anime convention, or any convention for that matter. Doesn't matter which convention you go to, panels are important. And whatever the subject matter is, that's something you have to decide for yourself. But it is... I love doing it. I actually get very nervous around social circles and being the lead. But when I do get in the lead, I usually know what I'm doing, and I'm usually very on key with what I'm talking about. And with a panel, I get that opportunity to practice being social in a way, because I communicate with massive amount of people. And so I guess a passion for something like this, I like doing panels, and it's become fun. It's not even for the benefit. The benefit's nice. In fact, that does become a very big lenient part of doing panels. That is with getting admission. Your admission can be free depending on how many hours you do a paneling. But that is not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about an how-to guide on how to do panels. After the millionth time of starting this, I'm tired. I am really, really tired. So, let's get going on this. First off, if you're going to do a panel, let's understand something. If this is your first time, don't worry. Just do an hour-long panel. Don't do a long one. Don't do a 2-hour. You're dragging yourself, and it's not cool. In fact, I think if you really wanted to, you could do a half-hour one. Just a short half-hour panel. They have them all the time, and that's a great starter. Get you started, get you used to it. Now, I did an hour-long panel, because at the convention I went to at the time, they didn't have half hours, so I did it an hour. And I loved it ever since. Take every opportunity about the time you take, and be time management. If you suck at time management, have a friend help you. Even if they're not on the official roster for co-panelists, have them help you out. Time is of the essence when you come to panels. You make sure you have enough time in your hour-long panel to cover everything you want to talk about. And if you can't, pick important bullet points. Okay? Pick important information, go with it. Stick with it. And don't steer away from it. You will forget something very important, and you will regret it. And make sure you have enough time for that time allotted to talk about those said points. And make sure those said points will fit the allotted time that you have. And just because you want to do a 2-hour, 3-hour long panel doesn't mean you're guaranteed that time slot, so plan accordingly. A lot of people always ask me, how do I get started? Go online and get on the convention forums. No joke. Get on the forums and talk to other panelists. You'd be surprised. Maybe they need an assistant. You can get on their co-panelist list. Or maybe there are ideas being flown around about a panel, and you'd be like, oh, I'd love to do this kind of panel. Or you see somebody else who wants to do a certain kind of panel. Throw in your 2 cents for somebody else's panel, and it'd be interesting to find your results, because people actually do coexist with that. Use the forums to your advantage. If you find a subject that you're interested in, post in the forums. Would anybody be interested in this? Post a poll, too, with it. Say, well, I have this panel idea, and I want to post about it, and I wanted to present it at this said con. Would anybody be interested? And you'd be surprised. There could be a lot of responses to it. Also keep in mind, depending on the convention you go to, look at the forums to look at ideas already presented. So, for example, the convention I'm going to here in about 3 weeks is called Colossal Con. It is in Sandusky, Ohio at the Kalahari Resort. It is an anime and video game panel. And yet people talk about D&D and My Little Pony. So, just because it's a anime convention, or just because it's a Star Trek convention, if it correlates with the convention, but people are still interested in going, even though it might not have anything really to do with what you, at the convention you are at, don't be afraid to pitch the idea anyways to the con heads, because they may be interested in it. I have 2 panels that are D&D related that I'm going to be presenting, and this is an anime and video game panel convention. But, again, there are people who are interested in D&D, so they would be interested to hear that, even though it's an anime and video game convention. I guess I just took like a few seconds in my head to kind of sum up everything. So far, I'm 5 minutes in. I've almost got everything covered so far already. How'd I do that? The most important thing that I could ever offer to anybody who is doing a panel, I tell them, simply put, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and when I say, insert convention title here, when I say Colossal Con, what is the first subject that comes to your mind? And they may say My Little Pony, or they may say Evangelion, they may say Portal, they may say D&D. I will tell them, okay, open your eyes. Guess what? That's what you're going to do your panel on. Literally. If their first thought was shoes, I love shoes. Awesome. Talk about fashion in anime, fashion in video games. Talk about hairstyles. Whatever they pertain to, have them do the panel on that. Do it with yourself. Sit there, close your eyes, and think, what's the first thing I think of? What's something I'm passionate about already as it is? If you're passionate about fashion, fashion and anime. If you're passionate about martial arts and anime. If you're passionate about editing, AMVs. If you're passionate about animals, talk about creatures in anime and video games. If you're passionate about tabletop RPGs or video games, talk about MMOs. Talk about, whatever is attached. I'm sure somebody has done a panel about social inequalities or social understandings or government understandings in anime and video games. There's even a religion in anime panel going on at Colossal Con. So take that, and that's your panel. That for some reason is people's problem. Like, I don't know what to present about. Just pick something. Pick any subject and attach anime, and you're done. It's not that hard. It really isn't. And then once you got that done, you're set. Now, the rest of this is going to be pertaining on how to get to the actual, presentation. I'm 7-8 minutes into this, and I already feel like I'm running out of time. But then I remembered I can go past the 15-minute mark. Brilliant. Anyway, moving on. When I first wanted to do a panel, I had no idea what I was doing. I have to admit, I had no clue. You have on the convention website, you can go to the forums or you can go to the main page. Usually there'll be a panelist tab or event tab. You go to that and usually they will show you how to send an application for a panel. Now mind you, there is a deadline. Usually approximately about a month, or I doubt 2 months before a con, is your deadline to turn in a panel application. Once you turn in the panel application, they will go over it, and progressively throughout a certain time period, they will send out emails saying, that's been accepted, that hasn't been accepted. Usually after the due date, they'll start sending those, saying, you've been accepted, you've not been accepted. Fill out the application to the strongest that you can. And be lenient about the schedule, too. If you feel, Friday I need to make an evening afternoon because I don't know when I'll be there, that's fine. Be open to your time. Because the more open you are, the easier it will be for them, and the quicker the schedule will come out. You'd be surprised if you were just lenient about the time you want to do this, you're fine. Now, there are exceptions. You could be in other panels that can intervene. You could be in the cosplay masquerade. You could be whatever. But pitch your idea to the con heads. They are the ones that will be reviewing those applications. You want to sell your panel. Term of knowledge here, term of use. Sell your panel. You are literally trying to do a sales pitch. That's all it is. Once you've done that, you're pretty much hooked in. Now, the big thing that everybody's probably asking right now is, what about this admission thing? Depends on the con you go to. And I'll give you an example right now. Let's take two conventions that are in Ohio, okay? We got OhioCon, and then we have Colossal. Both do their panel admissions very differently. OhioCon does a panelist badge where you can just not pre-register, and then you get so many hours. And if you reach that hour limit, you get in the con for free, and you get the panelist badge when you walk in the door. This is all fine and dandy, except when I explain Colossal Con's idea here of how this is done, you will find I like this idea much better. Now, Colossal Con has this system where you send in your applications, they say, oh, you've been accepted. You then still have to pre-register. You still have to put in money. You are then given a panelist badge. You are then to present your panels and report to ConOps prior. You are then presented to your panels. On Sunday, you are given a reimbursement. Now, by comparison to what I just said prior with OhioCon, yes, actually both you do report to ConOps before panels, but the difference here is simple. Reimbursement before versus reimbursement after. At OhioCon, you get a reimbursement prior to the con, which means you walk in with a panelist badge. You report in, I'm doing my panel. And then guess what? You don't show up. OhioCon and many cons like this have this running thing about nobody came to present their panel because they got in for free. Whereas, ColossalCon, good old ColossalCon, you have to present your panel still. And people are usually standing outside of the panel rooms, making sure their panels go down. And when you do present your panel, on Sunday, you will then get the money. You don't get the money unless you present. I love this idea far better. It is guaranteed security that you are going to get your money back. On top of that, you are guaranteed that people are going to present their panels. The only reason they wouldn't is if they're sick or an emergency occurred that they couldn't make it. Simple as that. So, check with the forums, check with the website, and see how they run their admission. That is a big thing. Everybody's been talking about that. Whenever you figure that out, you're set. You're absolutely set. You're all set to go, and no more harm done. I hope this helps. My throat hurts. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to put this all together, and I'm going to upload this baby. Hopefully it'll be uploaded by midnight, and hopefully this helps with your panel how-tos. I can post a part 2 if anybody's interested. Questions, comments, sure, why not, concerns can be posted in the comments below. I like the podcast version of how to do things. I'm kind of liking it. So we'll see where this goes. This is Megan for PRS Films. I'm enjoying this. I like it, and I know it. I love doing panels, and you should too. I will talk to you all later. And until next time, peace out, home dogs. I don't want to become Fred. No. Why did I say that? That was so stupid.